that was taught 2000, about 2600 years ago on a day like today. Today is Asala full moon day, Esala full moon day. Buddha was born on the born and became enlightened on the Vesak full moon day, and he also passed away on the Vesak full moon day. Now, after he became enlightened, 7 weeks he was contemplating of his experience of enlightenment. Enlightenment is not a simple thing. He had to spend 4 uncountable millions of years in the samsara to come to the point where he became enlightened on the full moon day Vesak. And that is the hardest thing in the world that any human or divine or Brahma can perform, can achieve, because out of this great eon, only 5 Buddhas became enlightened. Our Buddha was the 4th one. And Maitreya Buddha, who is coming, in the 5th one. That means this long period of time, there are 5 Buddhas. That is called Mahabhadra Kalpa. Maha means great. Huh? Bhadra means beautiful. Kalpa means eon. Me Mahabhadra Kalpa, 5 Buddhas we have came to the world. But after Maitreya Buddha disappear in the next round, there will be no Buddhas for long time. So there will be a very dark, bleak period for many kalpas. So we are human being born in this life, this kalpa, are so fortunate, so lucky, because we could hear the Buddha teaching 5 times in the samsara. We must have listened to the teachings of the Buddha in the past, but our wisdom was not fully ripe, so we couldn't become enlightened. But we had the 4th chance, Gautama Buddha's time, that our time, we are still able to listen to the teachings of, and we are very fortunate, because we might have listened last 4 Buddhas too. But now only one chance for this for a long time, that is Maitreya Buddha. So if we prepare our mind at this time, we might have a much better chance when the Maitreya Buddha become enlightened. That is after this. That is why in our temple we have a huge statue of the Maitreya Buddha, because we want our people to connect their mind to the Maitreya Buddha. If you connect your mind to the Maitreya Buddha who is coming next, then we might have a better chance meeting him. If we have a chance of meeting him, we can learn the Dharma directly from the Buddha. Then we listen to Dhamma talk by different monks now. But if you get the chance to listen to him again directly, it's a wonderful thing. So when we prepare our mind now to open up to the Dharma, then we may be ready when the Maitreya Buddha will arrive. If we fail to become enlightened this time, අපට නිවන් දකින්න පුළුවන් නම් මේ වෙලාවේ, that is okay. If we can become enlightened this time, that is the wonderful, most beautiful thing. But there's no guarantee the way we are going. Our greed and hatred and jealousy and all the other tanha is so strong right now. But we can actually work harder and get rid of our greed and self-centeredness and hatred and ignorance little by little, and we may become able to realize Nibbana. There are some people in Sri Lanka, in Thailand, in Burma, especially Burma, there are people who are striving hard to become enlightened. Number one attitude of their mind is, they tell me, Bhante, I don't want to be born again in this samsara. If you have that attitude, that's a good attitude. Because samsara is so full of suffering, therefore I don't want to come back to this life again. Because dukkha is too much. If you can understand dukkha is too much, then you don't want to come back again. There are some people who tell me that they don't want to come back again, And that does not mean that they have to practice meditation constantly, but they have to increase their wisdom. But to increase their wisdom, they have to have some level of calmness, some level of focus. If they have good level of focus, they know that I love my children, I love my family, I love my properties. Because I love them so much, I get into a lot of pain and frustration and trouble. That is one thing they see. Then they don't want to come back to samsara again. But we are not like that, because we have so much attachment to our children and our property and our fame and our ourselves, our life. So we may not have a chance this life, but if we work hard, we can plan to meet Maitreya Buddha in the next round, and then we become enlightened. Because becoming free from this cycle of life and death, it's called samsara. Life and death is samsara. We die, we reborn, we die again, we reborn, and every life we develop attachment. Develop attachment to various things. And therefore, we have a difficult time to understand the amazing, valuable teachings of the Buddha clearly and properly. So, that is why we at least try to practice sila, try to practice dana, try to practice bhavana. Every opportunity we get, gradually, chakku karani. Chakku karani means aspadino. අපට ඇස්පෑදිලා නැහැ තාම. බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ බුද්ධත්වයට පත් වෙන වෙලාවේ, when he became enlightened, his eye was clear and he could see things clearly. Therefore, he used the word chakku karani in his first sermon. Jnana karani, wisdom, knowledge. When you see something, we get a good understanding of what happened. Today, when we have a child, we are so happy that we have a child. Now, grandmother think that I'm so happy that I'm a grandmother now. You know, they're happy. But actually, that is, if you have knowledge, you don't think that having a grandchild is a great thing. They think this is going to cause me so much pain and frustration. If the grandchild gets sick, then you are in trouble, you are in pain. If the grandchildren get into drugs, and then you have more problem. If the grandchildren are not behaving correctly, and more problem. If suddenly grandchild has a car accident and die, and the more trouble. But when the day that the little grandchild was born, this grandmother think it's so great, I am a grandmother now. I have a grandchild. That's how they think. But if you have a Chakku Karani, Jnana Karani, if they have a good eyes, good knowledge, then we don't think like that. But today, we are always happy. When you get a nice house, we are so happy that we worked so hard all this time, and finally we got a vehicle, nice vehicle for ourselves, something like that. Huh? So that is what the Buddha called ignorance. Ignorance means no clear eyes, no clear understanding of what is happening in our life. So therefore, it is very important that we come to the temple and observe Shil here and there, because suppose this glass in your mirror, not mirror, your window is so dirty, when you look out from the window, you cannot see what is happening outside. That is what we are now. Our eyes are not clear, so much dust. Our wisdom is not clear, so much dirt. So therefore, Buddha's teaching is how to clean your glass. When you clean your glass, you can see outside clearly. So that is called understanding the reality of life. Reality of life means what is actually happening. When you have a baby, what is actually happening to me? When you have a big house, when you have a lot of money, and what is really going to happen to me? Because I am going to get attached to all these things that we think is valuable, and the moment that you get attached, then at the same time suffering started. Suffering starts as soon as you get attached to something. Isn't it? But people like us don't know that, but that is why we hear the Dhamma all the time. Actually, on full moon days, at least on the YouTube, we listen to the Dhamma. So this is the main purpose of the Buddhists, to clear their eyes, clear their wisdom, and be able to see what is really happening to us. That is what the Dhamma is for. That is what we need the Buddha for. Buddha is born just to help us to see things. When we have a little cockroach or somebody in the house, inside the house, if you don't notice it, don't see it, somebody has to come and show. Then you can look at it. Then you can see there's a cockroach or there's a snake in the house, right? But if somebody don't point out, we just walk around and do our things, and this little snake is in the corner sitting, and anytime he can come out and bite you or hurt you, but we don't know. But someone smart person come to the room, come to the house and say, I saw something in here. Maybe look like a snake, look like a cockroach, look like a rat, something like that. When you show that, then you can see. No, that is what the Dharma is for. Dharma is to make you see, point out what is really happening, what is really there. So today, Esala full moon day, what happened after the Buddha became enlightened? Do you remember? He spent 7 weeks contemplating about his experience. 7 weeks. No food, no water. 7 weeks. He became enlightened on the Vesak full moon day, and 7 weeks. You all know about the 7 weeks. So, Patamang Bodhi Pallankang, Dutiyancha Animmisang, Tatiyang Chankamanang Settang, Chatuttang Ratanagarang, Panchamang Ajapalancha, Uchaliddena Chattama, Sattamang Rajayatana. No water, no food. Right? Anna. Right. එතකොට 7 days he didn't talk, he didn't eat, he didn't drink, but he was engaging in experiencing. How could he live 7 weeks without food? Before the enlightenment, who gave the Buddha the food? Sujata. What did he do with the food? Milk rice. Today we eat milk rice. Right? He made 35 Hatarak Hata? 30? 40, huh? 49, no? So he made 49 bowls of milk rice. So he had that for that day before he became enlightened. That sustained him for 49 days. 49 days. So then I started thinking, now I realize this amazing Dharma that nobody in this world, whole universe, understood it. I am the only one who understood it directly for myself. I have a very clear understanding what life is all about. But this is very difficult for common people to understand. When the Buddha come and tell you life is suffering, life is full of problems, nobody thinks life is full of problems. They don't understand. So they laugh at the Buddha and go away. He won't listen to. Right? Kavudara Ajivika Upakada. He came to see the Buddha, right? Who are you? I am the enlightened one. Mamantamai Buddha Amdro. Aham bhi araha loke. Man, I am the completely enlightened one in the whole universe. I am going to the Benares to teach the Dharma. Why? Because after contemplating the Buddha about teaching the Dharma to common people, he thought nobody is going to understand what I understood here, when I teach them, they have no idea what I'm teaching. That is a common knowledge that Buddha had. But that time Buddha didn't have used his enlightened mind. Enlightened mind means Dibba Chakku. Dibba Chakku Dhammanang බුදුහාමුදුරන්ට හිතනවා කවුරු හරි අවබෝධ කරගන්නේ කියලා. Somebody will understand this. But he looked at the world and he said to himself that nobody is going to understand my teaching, so therefore no point of striving to teach. කාටද එතකොට ඒක දැනුනේ? සහම්පති බ්‍රහ්මරාජයට. Remember? Sahampati Brahmaraja understood that Buddha is not going to teach after all the struggle, all the hard work he did. He's not going to teach now. So he came immediately to visit the Buddha and asked, Venerable Sir, Lord, please don't think that there are no people to understand your teaching, and don't be discouraged about teaching the Dhamma that you understood. So there are some people who understand your teaching. Like the lotuses in the pond. Look the lotuses in the pond can. Some lotuses are on the top of the water almost ready to open up when the sun rises. Ready. Some are in the little bit lower in the water, but few days later it might come up, and when the sun rises it might bloom. Right? And there are some of them are very low in the ground, close to the ground, but they also like us, they are also had the potential to slowly come up and receive the sunrise and bloom. The world, people in the world are like that. There are so many different levels of understanding of people, but if you teach the Dharma, then ඉදිරිය වැටෙන්න යට තියෙන මල් ඉක්මනට උඩට එනවනේ. If they don't receive sunlight, the flowers in the bottom stays long time there. But if the sun is hot and warm and rising every day, these little flowers in the bottom will slowly up you again, just like us. We are not that smart. But once you keep hearing the teaching over and over, and when we start thinking about this, when we experience life a little bit through the eye of Dhamma, Dhammasiන් අපේ ජීවිතයේ දිහා බලන්න පුරුදු වුණාම, when we look at life from the eye of Dhamma, we begin to see little things what the Buddha is teaching. If we don't see, we laugh at Buddha. බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ මොකද්ද මේ ජීවිතේ අපර මොකද්ද තියෙන දුක, මොකද්ද මේ සංසාරේ තියෙන වැරද්ද? So we go here and we live a good life, and then we die there and we reborn again. But we don't know how dangerous the samsara is. Samsara means cycle of life. You can born as a dog. Lucky. Dog is okay, somebody will give you food and can have a good life. But if you be a hungry ghost, you are so skinny and ugly and food is available right in front of you, but you can't eat it. Because that's the nature of hungry ghost. Because they have done a lot of bad karma in the past life, according to their karma, hungry ghosts are starving all the time. Then even the hungry ghost is thinking this is a great life. Dog is thinking, dog, I'm a happy dog. My life is good. Happy? We, all of us, think that we are happy. I have a nice house, I have my children, I have my husband, I have my wife, I am living a good life. That's what they think, right? But few months later, husband or wife dies, gets sick, and you go to hospital every day, and so much trouble, but you don't see it. අපි හිතන්නේ ඒකට when your wife gets sick and you have to go to hospital every day, you don't think it is a difficult thing. You think that's my wife, I have to take care of her, so I'm going to take care of her. That's how we think. So you become a deva, and now you are very happy. All the material things are available for you to enjoy life. But after a while, what happened? චුත වෙන්න වෙනවා. දිව්‍ය ලෝකෙන් චුත වෙන්න වෙනවා. When the lifespan is over in the heaven, you have to go down to someplace else. That place could be a human being who's lucky, but if he become a hungry ghost or preta or hell being, අවීචයට එහෙම ගියොත් එහෙම you are burning and burning and burning and burning every day, and boiling water is pouring into your mouth, and this is the nature of samsara. But we think it is great. We go here, we go there. Look at the Buddha's life. He had become so many different animals and beings during the time that he was practicing paramitas. So it's okay. Buddha would say, this is the most painful thing in the world, to go here, go there, die here, die there, born there again, and again have attachment to your family and children and property, and then at the death, you have to leave everything that you liked and then reborn somewhere else. So painful to anybody. But if you don't see it like that, then you don't understand. See, that is the nature of samsara. Okay. Now, after the invitation of the Sahampati Brahma, Buddha started thinking, who would be the best person to listen to my teaching? And he thought, Alakarama, Uddhakarama, Alarkalama. He was good, his teachers before. Very good teachers, because they have developed a lot of jhanas. Panchamajjhana, Ashtamajjhana, even psychic powers. So, what happened? They just passed away. The Uddhakarama just passed away last night. So he just missed the teachings of the Buddha. And then he thought, who is the best people after that? 5 ascetics. 5 ascetics were my colleagues. They were struggling to understand the nature of life with the Buddha, but everybody at that time thought, in this sutta I said, Atta Kilamatanu Hino Gammo Pokutujaniko, Buddha said that in the first sermon. They were practicing all the austerities. Buddha started reducing food and water, and all these 5 ascetics also reducing food, reducing water, reducing sleeping, and step by step they were practicing austerities. Atta Kilamatanu Yoga. giving pain to your own body and mind. But after a while, Buddha understood that this is no way to go. This is only dukkha. I am giving myself more pain. When you are starving, you are giving pain. No? So when you have no sleep, you are giving pain to your body. When you are looking at the sun midday, when the sun is so bright and it could burn your eyes. So Buddha understood that Atthakilamathana Yoga is not a good way to become enlightened, good method to become enlightened. So he changed his style. Atthakilamathana Yoga venas karala. After changing that, he started eating a little bit, little by little. He started taking showers, so dirty and ugly. Not them. You have seen in some sannyasi in India, they haven't taken a shower for months. So dirty. And Buddha was like that in the forest. But before he was prince, first thing in the morning, nice shower and all kinds of perfume, all kinds of garlands. He finished all that. Now in the forest, you are giving pain to your own body. And Buddha realizes that this is not a good way to become enlightened or understand the life. So he changed. After he changed, these 5 colleagues thought Buddha Siddhartha has given up the idea of becoming enlightened. He gave up the idea, now he is eating, now he is drinking water, now he is living a comfortable life. But what the Buddha is doing is trying to follow the middle path, not too much pain, not too much excitement. If you give too much excitement, your mind becomes cluttered. If you have so much pain, you cannot even think clearly. So therefore, Buddha changes and all the disciples, 5 disciples, left him alone and went away from Bodh Gaya to Benares, long distance. They broke up with the Buddha, from the Buddha, right? And then the Buddha also, these people have worked so hard with me to become enlightened, to free from suffering, to overcome all calamities of life. But when I changed my practice method to middle path, they thought I'm giving up and they left me. So Buddha thought, okay, these people might be able to understand my teaching. If I find them and see them and give my teaching, they may understand at least for some extent. So I started looking for the 5 ascetics. They were so far away from Bodh Gaya, but he walked to Benares. So when they first saw the Buddha coming to meet him or see them, they thought he failed. Buddha failed and now he is coming to see us. But they didn't know that he actually became very successful and he wants to share his knowledge with us. That is why he is coming. So they didn't even want to welcome him. But Buddha said to them, Dear friends, I found the enlightenment. I found the wisdom. I found the method how to achieve wisdom. So I am here to teach you. They laugh. Why? All this time he was struggling so much and he gave up and he started eating food, drinking water and living comfortably. So he thought, no, Buddha is lying. Then the Buddha asked, friends, you were with me for 6 years. Did I ever tell you that I am enlightened at that time, that 6 years? No. But now I am telling you, I understood the Dhamma and I want to share it with you. What I understood, I want to share it with you. So, අපිට කීයද වෙලාව? 9:30. Okay, we didn't have the Dhamma talk. So then you have a meditation at 9:40 or something. Or 10:30. Okay, anyway, so then they agreed and they sat down to listen to him. I never tell you all this time, but now I am telling you. So why don't you listen to me? And at that time he was also called by the name Auso. Auso means friend. Then he said, Buddha said, don't call me friend now, because I am the fully enlightened one. You have to call me venerable. Right? So that way he had the proper respect, proper relationship. So anyway, Buddha sat down and first word he said to the 5 ascetics, if there were no 5 ascetics to listen to his first sermon, he wouldn't start with this first sentence. He started this first sentence too because these people were expert in the field of struggling for enlightenment. Therefore, he started the sentence, monks, there are 2 extremes that we have to avoid. That's the first thing he said. If you want to become enlightened and understand the life, understand the Dharma, and attain Nibbana, anybody have to give up 2 extremes. That's the first thing he said. Out of all the knowledge he had. Why? Because these 5 people are expert on the same experiment. If you do an experiment together with a bunch of other scientists and these scientists leave you and you research and you come up with some knowledge and come and talk to these people, first thing you say, our research was failed because of these things. Before, when we were doing the research, we failed because of this. That's why he started. Out of all the things he had to say, he said, Venerable monks, there are 2 extremes that we have to avoid if we want to become enlightened. That's the talk. And then he said, what are the 2? Kamsukallikana Yoga, enjoyment of luxury, experience of sensual pleasure. That is one. When the prince was in the palace, that is what he did. Good food, beautiful ladies, and good music, and comfortable beds, and everything. Did he become enlightened? No. I didn't become enlightened. because too much excitement make my mind unclear. You have to have a clear mind to become enlightened. So, hino, gammo, potujjaniko, anaryo. Anaryo means very low class. Arya means high class, noble. No? Anaryo means low class, enjoying music, enjoying food, enjoying all the men and women and sensual pleasure is so low class. Then he said, Attakillamata Yoga, we practice, you and I practice for 6 years. That is also not good. Because it is giving you pain. Only hino, low, anaryo. Anaryo means not noble, low class. Anatta Sanghito, you don't get any benefit. You don't get any benefit from practicing austerities. Etete ubo ante anupagamma, by avoiding these both extremes, Majjhima Patipada, middle path, Tathagatena Abhisambuddha, realized by the Buddha. Buddha realized the middle path. Not too much excitement, not too much pain. If you little follow the middle path, then your mind become calm, you are peaceful, you are not excited too much. And when you are not excited, you are more focused. When you are more focused, you see things better. That is why I found that middle path is the best way to understand life, understand the reality. And then when you follow the middle path and look at your life, you see the life is not that great. You see the actual nature of life. Dukkha. Jatipi dukkha, jarapi dukkha, maranampi dukkham, vyadipi dukkham, yampichang nalabati tampi dukkham, neda, appyehi sampayogo dukkho. When you start looking at life, you say, even the birth is very painful. Getting old, your limbs are not working, your mind is not working, you cannot get your own food, you cannot go to your places that you want to go by yourself, you are getting old and then you are sick, and when you are sick, your life is so miserable. Jarapi dukkha, vyadipi dukkha, ledavunam, when you get sick. Maranampi dukkha, when you are getting close, you have to leave all the property you had and all the children, all your friends, all these things you have to leave, That is so painful. So, appyehi sampayogo dukkho. If you have to be with people and things that you don't like, it's very painful, lot of suffering. If you marry a husband who give you so much difficult time, and do you want to be with that person? No. He beat you up and he don't treat you nicely and he hurt your feelings, mentally hurt you, physically hurt you. That is appya person. If you have to stay with that person, it's a painful thing. And then you have a nice husband or nice wife, very beautiful and very kind and very helpful, always taking care of you. All of a sudden, this wife or husband who is nice to you can die, or start finding another person, and they leave you. Is that pain? It's a happy thing. When your loved ones are leaving you to a faraway place, or because they are mad at you, or because they die, it's very painful. So these are the first thing that he said to 5 asterisks. And now we have to make the Dhamma talk short because we are behind the time. Dhamma talk started 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes before, late, no? Okay, so this suffering has to be eliminated. This can be eliminated. This suffering can be eliminated because it is composed of two things, composed of other things. For example, if my leg is has some big wound, an uncurable wound like diabetic person, what the doctor do? Take it off, cut it off, and you are still alive. Why? This leg is only a part of you. So if you are made of parts, then you can separate the parts. Now dukkha cannot come by itself. Dukkha have parts. Main part of the dukkha is tanha. Without tanha, dukkha cannot exist. If the tanha is not there, there is no dukkha. So if you can separate tanha from dukkha, dukkha disappears. What is tanha? Your self-centered thinking. Tanha means your self-centered thinking. I, me, mine thinking. We always think in terms of I, me, mine. That's the only way we can think. Why? Pohotujjanika. We are Pohotujjanika. We are common people. Common people always think, this is I, this is me, this is my child. That's how they think. I, me, mine. No? Ahankara, mamankara, mana, comparison with the other person. I am smarter than you. I am richer than you. You are much richer than me. You are more powerful than me. Always compare, mana. So I, me, mine is the thinking that we have. As long as we have I, me, mine thinking, meka mage, me tamai mama, mata vediya meya hondai, meyata vediya mama hondai, if you think like that, then definitely you are going to experience suffering. So if you separate this part of mind, that is tanha part, then dukkha disappears. So how do you do this? Then Buddha said there's a method, there's a path. What is the path? Ayameva aryo attangiko maggo. Majjhima patipada, middle path is the path. That middle path consists of eightfold path, eight parts. When you practice, cultivate eightfold path, you can separate tanha and dukkha. Then the tanha cannot exist without dukkha. Without dukkha cannot exist without tanha. Now when you separate the two, Tanha cannot exist, dukkha cannot exist. Where is the tanha, where is the dukkha? කොයිද වතියන්නේ? තමන්ගේ හිතේ. In your own mind. Suffering තියෙන්නේ in your own mind. හිතේනේ. එතකොට තණ්හාව තියෙන්නේ කොයිද? මමේ මාගේ කියන හිතීම කොහෙද තියෙන්නේ? හිතේනේ. ඒක ඔය දෙක වෙනස් කරපුවාම ඒ හිතට මේ දුකත් නැතුව යනවා. තණ්හාවක් නැතුව යනවා. එතකොට මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ? මේ දෙක නැති වුණ හැටි මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ? අභිඤ්ඤාය සම්බෝධාය නිබ්බානාය සංවත්තති. තේරුණානේ? මේ දෙකම ගලවලා දැම්මහම පැත්තකට එතන ඒ සිතේ ඉතුරු වෙන්නේ මොකද්ද? What is left in the mind? Abhinya, deep knowledge, sambodha, enlightenment, understanding of things clearly. Nibbanaya, peace and comfort. Nibbana කියන්නේ සීති භූත, coolness, අර burning, painful mind is now turning into a very calm and peaceful mind. That is what Buddha had. That is what all the enlightened ones had. That is what we are trying to find for ourselves. අපි දැන් මේ සිල් ගන්නේ, බණ භාවනා කරන්නේ, all that we are doing is for the purpose of achieving peace, achieving calmness, getting rid of frustration, getting rid of fear, getting rid of attachment. That is why we are here today. This full moon day, this is the message for all of us. This Dhamma talk that Buddha gave was very short, but it has all the things that we have to know, we need to know about life. This little short talk, but we didn't have time to explain. May Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta has all the knowledge that we have to know to free from suffering. You can නිදහස් වෙන්න අවශ්‍ය ඕක්කොම දේවල් තියෙනවා. But just like we said earlier, these people are not smart. Because these people are our people in the world are so immersed in greed and hatred and ignorance, they need the clarification of these things over and over and over. That is what the Buddha did for 45 years. අවුරුදු 45ක් 45 years he has explained what he taught in the first sermon in many different ways according to the understanding of different people. So today we are actually hearing the original teaching, but not completely, but just a little bit. When you have time, read the Sutta, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, and try to understand what is taught in there. We may be able to understand something. ජාතිපි දුක්ඛා, ජරාපි දුක්ඛා කියනකොට අපිට ඇත්තනේ කියලා හිතෙනවා. මරණම්පි දුක්ඛං, අප්පියේහි සම්පයෝගෝ දුක්ඛෝ, ප්‍රියයන්ගෙන් වෙන්වීම, අප්‍රියයන්ගෙන් හා එකතු වීම. ඒක හිතා ගන්න පුළුවන් ටික හිතාගෙන ගියාම අපිට මේ ආත්මේ බැරි වුණොත් මෛත්‍රී බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ අපේ ළවට, even at the time that we meet the Maitreya Buddha, then we may have a chance. නේද? අපිට chance එකක් තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. මේ chance එක ගත්තේ නැත්නම් අර මැෂින් එක කරගෙනවනේ, මස් දාලා කරගෙනවනේ, කුඩු යන්නේ. ඔන්න ඔය මැෂින් එකට අපි වැටෙනවා, ආය මස් වෙනවා, ආය කැලක් වෙනවා, ආය සතෙක් වෙනවා, ආය මස් එකට වැටලා අරකට කරගිලා we get into that process. We have been going through that process all this time. මේක ඇම්බරෙනවා ආය හරියනවා ආය ඇම්බරෙනවා ආය හරියනවා ඕක තමයි සංසාරය කියන්නේ. So we are so fortunate to be able to hear the teachings of the Buddha at least this much in this way. And today is a full moon day of the day that Buddha gave the first sermon after we became enlightened. And so we are very lucky to be able to hear the Dhamma, and with this listening and paying attention to this wonderful teaching, we generated a lot of merit for ourselves. A lot of merit means a lot of wisdom, a lot of clarity for ourselves, and as a result we generate a lot of mind, a lot of positive energy for ourselves. Every time when you hear something nice and please yourself, your energy level goes up. Now we are full of positive energy, and let us share this positive energy with all the loved ones of all of us, our husbands, our parents and our mothers and our grandparents and our friends, whoever passed away. Let us share this wonderful merit with them. By sharing, may they be able to, let us wish that may they be able to overcome all difficulties of their life, and finally may they attain Nibbana. With these thoughts in your mind, please say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Also all the devas who came to listen to this Dhamma talk, because at the beginning we invited the devas to come and listen to this talk. So all those devas are around here and you don't even see. When the Buddha gave the first sermon, there are millions of devas listening to him, the first sermon. All invisible, but they are there. For them, they are visible. For us, they are invisible. So all these devas who are taking care of us and who are attending to our children, may they also be able to receive the merit that we have generated on this Esala full moon day, and may they also finally attain ultimate peace, which is Nibbana. With these thoughts in your mind, please say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. By the power of the Dhamma, our mind is normally become clearer, our vision become clearer, and may we be able to understand the people who are not well refined, and we may be able to understand who are the good people, who are the nice people, kind people. So every life we are going to be born. Until we die in this life, may we always have good people as our family and friends. May we always be able to stay away from unfortunate people who bring misery and discomfort to our lives. With these thoughts in your mind, please say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Akasatta Jabummatta Devanaga Mahiddhika Punyantang Anuditva Chirang Rakkantu Loka Sasanang Akasatta Jabummatta to the Dhamma, you have generated so much positive energy. By the power of the positive energy, may you be able to understand more and more Dhamma in ultimate peace, which is Nibbana. With this thoughts in your mind, please say sadhu, sadhu. I know, yeah. That is the Dhamma talk. Then make a schedule again. We have meditation for 15 minutes. Then break එකක් ගන්නවද? පොඩ්ඩක් meditation කරලාම ඉන්නවද? You want to take a break or? Huh? 5 minutes. 5. Yeah. ඒක මං කිව්වේ නැහැ මොකද it is difficult and take longer time to explain. Yeah, yeah. Okay. And මේ කට්ටියට they can have a cup of tea නේද? ඒකක් බීලා එන්න. එතකොට 11 ඉඳලා 11යි කාලේ වෙනකල් from 11 to 11:15 you can have a meditation. පොඩි ආම්දුර එක කරයි එන්න. Doctor, let's go for a cup of tea. ඔක්කොම යන්න ඒ පැත්තට. Have a cup of tea. දැන් හරි. මේ ගෝෆ් කරලා දාන්න.